Hello YouTubers, welcome to my channel 0 to 100 Adventure, and today I'm going to be doing a walk around of this demo bike, the Triumph Explorer XC. So this, the 2016 model, has seen a lot of improvements from its predecessors. There are now 6 variants to this bike, 3 off-road XC and 3 on-road XR. It might look like the original 2012 Explorer, but it has had a host of changes and upgrades, including to the chassis, to the seating position. It now has a adjustable electronic windscreen, first in its class. It is now a completely different animal. It has sharper steering, beefier Brembos, larger wheels and tires to help the Triumph Explorer stop, and most of all, it now comes with electronic suspension. The semi-active suspension comes standard with all mid and high spec models. This improves the ride significantly because of its constant adjustment to the damping and rear self-leveling. The 3-cylinder engine has always been a beauty on this bike. Really thrilling engine, delivering now 137 brake horsepower. The Triumph Explorer still weighs in at around 250 kilograms, so not making it the lightest in its class, and those that opt for the sportier road model will find it still a tad on the heavy side. So let's take a look at the specifications of this bike, and let's start with the engine. It is still the same 1215cc engine that we know and love, with all the might and grunt, coupled with a low maintenance shaft drive. It has a generous spread of power all the way through and ride-by-wire system that allows for very smooth operation. You get a lot of equipment even on the base model of the Triumph Explorer, which includes stuff like electronic rider aid package. Mid and high spec versions include that. 5 riding modes, the latest traction control and cornering ABS systems, semi-active suspension and heel hold, which just pinches the rear brake. Depending on the spec, you also get self-cancelling indicators, a center stand, onboard computer, cruise control, heated grips and seat. Yeah, and you'll see this model has the heated seats, 12 volt and USB chargers. The list goes on, and of course there are plenty of third-party official accessories, both from Triumph originals and from third parties, so you can purchase a lot for this bike to make it look really snazzy. In this model here you will see the XC comes standard with the 2 fog lights in front and the heated seat. Now the electronic window, which is a first for the adventure bike, is standard across all models. So the Triumph Explorer 1200 XC is Triumph's big adventure bike to compete with BMW R1200 GS, the Honda VFR 1200X, the Yamaha Super Tenere, which all of these bikes are 1200cc big adventure bikes, yeah, in a very popular adventure touring market. So all of the bikes mentioned are all shaft driven, all 1200cc, with variants of 4, 3 and 2-cylinder engines. Then you get the Multistrada, which is a 1200. Final drive is chain, very powerful, but that's more of a sport adventure, with the likes of the BMW XR. You also get, of course, the smaller capacity bicycles like the Suzuki Faustrom, which is 1000cc, but also a big adventure bike. You have the Kawasaki Versys, which is also 1000cc. So let's talk of specs of this bike. So it has an inline 3-cylinder engine, liquid cooled, double overhead cam, 4 valves per cylinder, able to deliver 137 brake horsepower. It is fuel injection and ride by wire. It offers standard 6-speed with a final drive, as mentioned, being shaft for low maintenance. As you can see, it has a single-sided swing arm. It has a 32-spoke aluminium rim, both front and back, the front being 19-inch and the back being 17-inch. The front tire is 120/70 and the rear tire is 170/60. The front suspension is upside down forks, 48mm upside down forks with 190mm travel with electronically adjustable damping. The front brakes boast a twin 305mm floating disc with Brembo caliper, 4 pistons and switchable ABS. The rear is a monoshock, electronically adjustable semi-active damping with 193mm rear travel and automatic preload adjustment. So the rear boasts a 282mm disc with Nissan brakes and a 2-piston sliding caliper, switchable ABS. Here you can see the XC model boasts heated seats, so a really nice option. The seat quality and material is really good, so it's non-slip. It will not allow you to actually knock your nuts onto the petrol tank. The petrol tank itself boasts a 20-liter tank, so enough for touring and pretty much standard on these big adventure bikes. Yeah. So the engine is protected with a crash bar that you can see here, and also a bash plate at the bottom. This is all standard on the Triumph Explorer XC. Here you can see the final drive shaft, which is always a bonus because it is low maintenance for the rider. Yeah. So the instrumentation on this bike is really good. I believe that all of the controls are on the handlebars, so you can adjust the cruise control, windscreen, up and down, headlights, fog lights, heated grips. Everything except the heated seats is all controlled on this bike's handlebars. The heated seats, the button as you saw earlier on, is just under the rider to the right. To the left. All in all, I think that this bike is really a good looking bike. I think that it stands out. It's got LED flickers, both front and back. The lights in front, dual head lamps, really good. It suits the bike pretty well. Standard handguard protection. The mirrors, rear view mirrors, are not the biggest, not the best, but sitting on the bike does give you sufficient visibility towards the back, right? You have a lot of third-party aftermarket accessories for this bike, and also a lot of stock accessories that you can purchase, like you get a grille for the front light. These headlights here are optional extras for the base model, although it comes standard with this bike, and you can really make this bike look snazzy. I think that this bike, besides the weight, it does have a very powerful engine boasting 137 brake horsepower. It is quite an exciting engine. We all have grown to love the inline 3-cylinder 1215cc engine. It is a grunty engine. So all in all, a really great looking bike. I think that the 2016 model has seen some very significant improvements, some improvements that were very much needed so that the Triumph Explorer would not fall behind its competition, as electronic dampening, suspension, cruise control, electrical windscreen, and all of these gadgets and creature comforts are becoming now standard in this sector of bikes. So well done, Triumph Explorer, for delivering what others are not yet delivering. So adjustable windscreen is definitely a big plus in my books. Electronic link suspension, big plus in my books. Well done. I believe that concludes my walk around. I hope I was able to give you enough information. If you are looking at this bike, the best is go out to the dealer and have a test ride, but I do think that this is really a good bike. But at the end of the day, it all comes down to personal preference and personal opinion, and this is my video. It is my personal opinion. I think that this is a great bike and a great competitor to the BMW R1200 GS and the Honda VFR 1200X. Thank you for watching my channel 0 to 100 Adventure, and I really hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, please be sure to hit the like button, subscribe and share to help a guy grow his channel. And if you want to watch more of my videos, please follow the links to the right. Thank you and hope to see you soon.